Hi everyone, welcome to another segment of the Diamond Club Ambassador Program. My name is Chele Tindall and I actually did Diamond Club in 2016 and I'm ever so grateful for that decision and certainly where it has set my business up for today. What I'm going to be sharing some ideas and thoughts around is how to do Diamond Club without any upline local support. And so what that means is that all of my uplines are in the US. So my choosing to do Diamond Club was really about the opportunity to expand my business, to go and model the program that has been so, I think, incredibly fundamental to the development of leadership and not only here in Australia, but it's been an incredible program that's led to a lot of growth and a lot of personal growth and created a lot of rank advancements. So if you're considering doing Diamond Club for the first time, I say go for it. It's exciting, it's scary, and certainly maybe some of the things that I can open up for if you are also in that category like I was, where there was no one else to hold the reins, to share any of the tasks, then hopefully you can grab some ideas and maybe understand that it's not quite as daunting as what it appears, particularly if you set yourself up with some systems and are organised. So let's just start with, if it's the first time you've even heard about Diamond Club, and I know that while there's many avenues for everyone to get access to understanding that it's a really mainstream program that happens within doTERRA, some people don't actually get the moment to understand how valuable it can be, particularly if you're at that level where you want to take your business, to the next place of expansion and to complete this program. So what I just wanted to outline is that where do you go to? Who do you ask if you're unsure of how this operates? And so one of the great things is that the criteria is that we can actually invite 3 of our uplines, I went for my personal enrolment uplines to check whether this is something that they would support me in. And the overwhelming agreement to get behind people in your teams around this, I think you may be surprised that people are. It's a culture within doTERRA. So if you're wondering whether people will and you're hesitant about asking, I actually think that it's a really great way of learning to connect with people who are in your support team and also finding out that they're embedded in this culture. For some, they've done it before. Others, they realise the value of what it's done when people actually do this and focus for 4 months, get really consistent with the fundamentals of, sharing their oils, showing people how to actually share, how to build, taking things on that you may not have unless you make that decision. So let's talk about where you go to have these uplines, to connect with. So let's say that you don't even know who they are. Sometimes it's not unusual that can happen. It's very rare, but let's just take that as if that's something that is there for you. You can actually go in your virtual office and on the first page where it opens up, you will see at the top on the right hand corner it will have your name and your ID. Under those lines there's actually a wellness advocate section, and if you go in there and click on that, you can actually then find the upline listing. And if you click on that, what it will do is it will actually bring you a list of all your uplines. So if you haven't had any personal connection with them, here's an opportunity. You will see their details, you will see, contact numbers and where they sit in alignment to, your position. So the great thing is that you can actually start that connection, and you can actually choose to have one sponsor, or like I did, you can actually have 3, which, is a shared equally between 3 of your uplines, and doTERRA actually supports the other 50% of that reimbursement program that we beautifully get to indulge in Diamond Club. So look at that list if you don't know, and if you are feeling hesitant about asking, I know that there's been a beautiful culture created in Australia where it's looked at and embraced to really get behind teams and support someone in your team that really wants to step up and take this on. So in the opportunity to go and ask, your immediate enroller, and there are actually criteria around that these days that, that you either have to be silver or above, or you have to have done Diamond Club yourself. So within that, you'll get to meet some people that maybe you've never connected with before. And it's as simple as saying, that you are committed to doing Diamond Club and that you are reaching out to ask for support. So, the response that you get to that, I'm sure, is going to be mostly favourable. And if not, it gives you the opportunity to go to the next person. So make sure that you realise that it's a very great process in actually starting to get connected with the people that, are there and have maybe walked that path before you. The other thing to think about with that is that in that, as you are choosing either those three, one of the people that you will look for now is to actually have someone that really resonates with you, or you resonate with them, and they can actually provide mentoring for you through those 4 months. And I highly recommend that. So once you've actually secured who's going to be your sponsors for this program, link in with that person and find out, so that you've actually got that, not only the moral support, you'll get the education and the training, and you'll get that around you. Now, if you are in that same situation where you don't have local support, it's interesting that you can find a time to schedule. I know that for myself, it was really just about, deciding, once I had that financial commitment of them really getting behind me, I was actually able to say, I've got this, let's go, and let's give it my best shot. One of the things that I find that if we actually are prepared to do something that we are going to ask others to do, which is Diamond Club, I think it's really great that we've actually walked that journey. So, I think in the opportunity of now looking at it for this upcoming year, make sure that you dig deep, do those little tasks of finding who your sponsors will be, because it's almost a prerequisite to preparing yourself for all the incredible things that you'll do along the way. And if you're feeling shy and nervous about even asking that question, it's just one of those things that I guess we get mentally strong at, or emotionally strong at, as we tick the things off that we're uncomfortable to do. So that's one way of knowing who your upline sponsors are, and then picking the one that you choose. And obviously there are other criteria around that, to start on Diamond Club. But I think one of the things that I would endorse the program for, it's just an opportunity for each of us to get better at what we, do, and we do it more regularly. So it's almost like if you're nervous or anxious or feeling scared about this decision of how will you do it, and in my case, how am I going to manage all of those things single-handedly, then really it's about trying to identify the things in ourselves where, how can we put better support things around us? And I always talk that about like having a few extra legs under a platform that puts us in the right stead to do this, in a successful way. And so part of that is I just want to run through a couple of things that it's almost like if you are taking it on and you're feeling scared, I think you're in exactly the right place. Because I think many of us think, wow, that's 4 months. Sometimes we let our minds run away with the fears and the doubts, as opposed to focusing on, where I am now, and actually at the other side of this 4 months, where is it possible? Where do I see these possibilities of where I want to be actually in personal growth? Where do I want to grow my teams? And for me, it actually ended up that I was doing most of my traveling interstate and supporting brand new teams. And that became a really great thing. So one of the things that I've got is a whole list of things that I took with me, just so that I was fully organised with, as you get busy and the meetings start to get booked. And I always used to say to my team, if I'm coming that far, I don't want to, twiddle my fingers. I want us to be busy. I want us to be able to help you either get your oils for free, so that you're learning, so that we're actually very productive for the time that's spent. Either while you're away, and it's a great investment for the uplines that are also supporting you. So I think that that's a really great mindset to go into this with, is that it's going to benefit you in the long term, but there's a real gratitude around those that have actually decided to support you on this journey. So being organised, and also making the most of of every moment that you're there, either to help people learn some things, more things about the oils, more encouragement on how to show someone how to take their first step in, you know, being able to share the oils. And I almost call this program, I remember reading in a book by Malcolm Gladwell many years ago, it's called The Outliers, and it talks about doing your 10,000 hours. And Diamond Club is, I don't think we quite get the 10,000 hours up, but it's that fundamental program of doing the basics that allow us to get strong in those things. And if you are only fairly new to running a class for more than a couple of people, then the great thing about this is that you get to do it over and over again. The people that you're going to, and like my people, they were brand new and just getting started. And so there was a lot going on to be able to show people, but more importantly, model it. And it's that duplication of doing it over and over again that by osmosis, people will learn and get to follow what you're modeling. So that 10,000 hour principle was really a part of me knowing that as I do it, I actually leave behind an impression of increase. And so, you know, I get to set those people up in really good stead. So being organised, particularly if you are doing it without any support, and if you are starting new people, there's always that other element of teaching. So once the classes are finished, there's times that you actually put all your enrolments through the portal. I went and I've just found some of my old forms, so you can see how weathered they are. But I actually just used to make sure that I had a system of putting my new enrolments in there. Once the meetings were done, I would spend the time late at night once all the training and teaching was done, and then start to load them up into the portal, right? And so that was kind of the last part of the day. But if you are doing it by yourself, and obviously it's your job to do that, being at the meeting and also loading up, you know, the information and the new enrolments through the Diamond Club portal, then it's important to do that when you can do that at the end of the day. Now, my point around that is, if you know that you are away and you're traveling and you've still got busy days every day, it is really wise to stay up and do those late night or early morning hours to have that job completed. The other one that I'm showing you here is I used to have several of these just to be able to put all my information in one spot, so that every day, if there was a meeting, we would have a sign-in so that I knew who was at the meeting. We knew who'd actually invited them. Everything was recorded in the fact that I could actually just take those forms, and then at the end of the month, when you're doing all your, you know, compiling and sending it in for reimbursement, then you're not trying to scratch your head, because as you start to do many enrolments and many meetings, having order in the things that you do and being able to tick them off. I'm just saying, this was one of the greatest things. I even used to just carry, you know, envelopes. So if it was receipts for driving somewhere and fuel receipts, it was always in a place where at least it was easy to access. So I'm just thinking that we have to be super organised if we are, you know, working all areas of it. The other thing is that if you are doing this without any local support to help you do, you know, taking new people on and teaching them some things, what I found at the start of my club is that there's a saying that says comparison is the thief of joy. And I remember when I got started, there was some beautiful momentum happening in all the other teams. Some of the other leaders had actually already done Diamond Club, and they had a tremendous support around, you know, their newbies that were actually going through this program. And there was one event where I think 150 people turned up. I can't remember how much. It was just pure success. And I remember looking at that thinking, oh, wow, you know, what a tremendous start for those people just on their Diamond Club journey. And for me, it was really about staying in the mindset that what I'm doing is going to work with the people that I can help. I don't have that support and that capacity to have those kind of events pulled together at the start, but I knew that every meeting that I was doing and every part of support that I was helping other people was going to grow that down the track. So just remember that the attitude really is important, is not to look and compare what other people are doing, because sometimes it looks like, you know, they're off to a tremendous start, and it's really about staying focused in our own lane and what are the targets, what are the intentions that we want this program to provide us and to the leaders and the people that we're working with to develop, and help them grow their business. So remember that comparison is the thief of joy, and there are many other people that have already got so many other parts of support around them that will only just undo your mental attitude. So just remember that. Just stick with what it is for you and why you're doing this program. And I really encourage you. One of the things that I had a very dear personal why as to what I wanted to do at the end of it and what I wanted to create. And so that just kind of keeps that inner fire burning, particularly when you realize you go somewhere and, sometimes people don't make it to the event or they cancel at the last minute. And there's a whole list of things that we all get to walk through, every person, particularly those that have walked all the way to Presidential Diamond. It's just that they've actually endured a way to either get more effective in those inviting skills or just to be able to pick themselves up, dust themselves off and get on with, the work at hand. So everyone has an incredible opportunity, whether you have local support or not. The fact that someone will actually, invest in you to give you this opportunity, I think is enough just to be grateful. And if you walk through that program, sending that gratitude back to those people, I just think good things open up for you in the way that it unfolds. So that's one thing, is about being totally organised, having the right mindset. The other thing that I found really supported me was, because I was going to do all the extra tasks, and that was my responsibility to make sure that everything was ticked off. It was also my responsibility with brand new people to make sure that there was time invested in them to start the training program. Often it's helping them with new placements, helping them start to look at ways to understand structuring their business. So it's a very multi kind of dimensional program. And the fantastic thing is that we often don't know what we're capable of until that's put in front of us. So the expansion for me was seeing the joy of other people's business growing, but it was also being aware that how to look after myself when you're giving out and you're giving out and you're giving out all day long, and then at night. The thing that I know that's really important was, through that journey, I made sure that my lifelong vitality was essential. The other thing that I know, because you're giving out all that energy, is my mito to max was something that I increased. So any of the oil usage, any of the nutritional usage that you can actually fuel yourself with, do it. And then as you plan your schedule, if there is time that you've met all your criteria and you get to go and just walk on the beach or be able to chill and just to regroup, acknowledge some of the things that you've done through that time. And the great thing is that if you do meet those enrolment criteria early enough, find the little ways that anchor it in with an oil, do things that continue to support you. It's like a muscle that grows stronger over time. So any self-care, any self-love, it only has to be for a moment, just to check out and let your mind go to a place of, walking in nature, appreciation of what's actually unfolding, seeing that vision coming to you, even if sometimes it doesn't look like it's right there now. Any moments that you can grab like that is really fantastic. And I've got a fun story, because I used to just kind of put my oars on my feet at night, fall sound asleep in bed, and one night I was even too tired and I just swiped some vetiver under my nose. And it was really interesting that, because of that, it was like someone saying, oh, there's a new way that you put it. It was just that I think I was too tired to actually, have my shower and get them on my feet. It was just stop my mind, let my mind be peaceful, and go and have a good sleep ready for the next day. So you will find ways that you're going to support yourself in that. And last thing that I just want to leave you with is the mindset of being able to reframe. Just the decision to take on Diamond Club. Obviously, you can set yourself up to do extremely well. And for me, it was, okay, I'm practicing. I've always built my business in the past on 90-day blitzes, is what I used to call them. And so that first month was really getting the muscle strong, getting in the routine. And then I had my mindset, okay, here we go for the 90 days. Whatever it takes to set yourself up for a path of success is important. But the other thing is the reframing. I've actually know people, and I know that this can be something that's out there. if you haven't quite finished Diamond Club, then the culture in doTERRA is really, I feel, is to really appreciate and acknowledge what you've done. Whether you've done 1 month or 2 months, you actually had the courage to put your hand up and get out on that track. And so this is really about being able to grow a mindset that helps you in realizing that anything you do in this program is an absolute success. And so I just want you to powerfully set yourself up for that if you're looking, towards that this year. Because I know that sometimes people have said, well, I've failed. And that's actually not true. I think the courage to get out there and do something that most people will never do, you become like the 26 players on a field while there's, 30,000 people in the grandstand. So I just really want you to have that incredible mindset going into it, to realizing that if you give it your all, you feel good anyhow. And sometimes it's the first stage of growth. I know people that have done it twice and done extremely well. So just be aware of that it is about, this is your race, this is no comparison with anyone else. And just to leave you with that note, the fact that I've actually just found what I wrote on my folder with sometimes were little reminders. Now this is old, and I used to have that I was out helping other people evolve. And for me it was little reminders everywhere that just is remembering, that we're growing into our greatness. And so it's let your faith roar so loud that you can't hear what doubt is saying. And you are an absolute success in just even undertaking the program. And I just really want to honour that for everyone that has done it and done that in the past. They are an example of at least stepping up to the plate and having a crack, as we say in Australia. So my time is up. Look forward to joining any of you that are going to join us for the Q&A next week. And in the meantime, get those plannings happening, get your sponsors underway, find your mentor that's going to work with you, and look forward to seeing you on the other side. Bye.